Okay, so just getting back to where we were. So I'll just restart this. So we're doing pretty well. We've got the background scrolling, and we've got the ship responding to our touch. And what we're going to do now is use the storyboard feature built into Corona so that we can have a start screen, this game screen, and a restart screen. Okay, so just a slight health warning. I haven't used storyboard heaps. We'll get it working for sure. But could run into anyway, we might get to see the console error panel a little bit, but that's good. And yeah, so let's just get started. What I'm going to do here, sorry, I've just got a couple of other files open. Okay, let's see. What I'm doing is I'm just going to open up our side scroller. So at the moment, our only Lua file is this main.lua, and that's got all our stuff in it. What we need to do is create some other files for the different screens, basically. So I'm just going to do that now. So I'm going to File, New, File, Save As. Now we're going to have a screen called Start, and one handy thing is like each file, so each Lua file, like start.lua, is literally going to contain the code for just the start screen, and then we're going to have one called Game. So File, New. Anyway, file save as, and this one's going to be called game.lua. It's going to be the file that runs when the actual game's being played. And then finally, we want one called file. Just going to say this as restart. So we have four Lua files. Okay, so we've got start, restart, main, and I just need to open up the game one as well. So game.lua. Okay. Alright, so by the way, I'll show you, I've just got it's good to have like tabs. The way Text Wrangler, which I'm using, does it, has it on the side here. So I'll be switching files using this, which is off screen, I'm sorry, but you can always see which file, and I'll say which file I'm in, just look here. And another way you can switch between is just here. So, okay, enough of that. Okay, main.lua, we're going to select everything here and delete it. We're going to do the same for restart. Well, that's already empty. The same for start, and for game. Okay, I'm going to go back to main, and I'm going to undo that because I want to copy that and then delete that. And then in the game file, so right, what I just did, the game.lua file, so far all this code relates to actually playing the game. So it's going to go on our game.lua screen. Okay. What we're going to do now is do our main.lua file, and we're going to set this up to use storyboard. So while we're at it, I'm just going to type another one that says set status bar. This has got nothing to do with storyboard, by the way. And we're going to say display dot hidden status bar. What this does have to do with, though, is, okay, so you know how we had, okay, nothing's working at the moment because the main file's got nothing in it, but that will have gotten rid of our, that bar that comes up there. Anyway, okay, again, nothing to do with storyboard, but this does. So we're going to create a variable, local, call it storyboard, and we're going to do another require. So just like we required the physics engine, here we are requiring the storyboard API, which just lets us use storyboard. And then we're going to say, once we've created a variable for storyboard, we're going to say, hey, storyboard, we would like to go to the scene, or go to the Lua file, it really means. Let's go to the one, well, let's go, for us at the moment, let's go to the one called game. We'll change that to start, but let's just see if this is going to work. Okay, doesn't like that. Let's just see if we're getting that compiler error. Attempt to index field question mark line 4. Alright, let's take a look. So I think what's actually happening here is it probably is going to the game.lua file, but the game.lua is not set up for storyboard usage yet. If we take a look at the game file, so here's game.lua, it's a Lua file and it's there, but it's not set up to work with storyboard. So in the next video, we'll actually set this file up to work with storyboard. So just to recap, all we did, our main.lua file's almost got nothing in it anymore. We just did that set status bar, which it just, that default bar with like the battery and the signal thing in it, the strength signal, it's just not going to be there anymore. And we set up this storyboard variable, we required it, and we're going to go to our Lua file. The other thing we did, if I just bring this over, is we've now got in our app 4 files. Main.lua, the starting point, which is going to hop straight to start eventually in our start screen, which will then take us to game.lua. And then when the ship explodes, we're going to go to restart. And if we press restart, we're going to hop back to the game file and then hop between those two. In a bigger application, you'd have more Lua files. Each basically file contains the code for that screen, is a way to think about it. More complicated ones, you can have shared code between different screens and so on, but at a starting point, that's what you can think about it. And speaking of starting points, our main.lua file is the starting point. And we're going to go to game first, just to check we can get storyboard up and working, and then we'll switch that to the start screen, and the start screen taking us to game.